Now from Howard University, where Vice President Kamala Harris will be holding her watch party tonight. The president of the National Action Network, the host of MSNBC's Politics Nation, the Rev Al Sharpton. Rev, just take me through what you're watching for as data starts to come in and we hear all these glorious stories of voters willing to wait 2, 3, 4 hours to have their voice heard today on Election Day.
Well, I think it is very invigorating and to me, something celebratory to see so many people vote. We'll see what the results are. I also think the fact that people are waiting in line shows that people have taken this very seriously, Nicole, because you have probably not seen such contrasting candidates in our lifetimes, probably not since the Civil War, that stands for two opposing views on everything from women's rights to voting rights to civil rights going forward. And standing here in Howard University, I think that it really speaks to the history of this moment, because this is the first time that you've had a historic black college host a presidential election night watch party. You've never had this in history. So, you know, we'll see if Vice President Kamala Harris becomes the first woman and first woman of color to be vice president, but she's already made history by bringing the world to a HBCU to see who will become the next president of the United States.
Rev, you are the first person that so many people call in a moment of political crisis. You're also a person that so many of us call when we want to find out what's happening on the ground. And so in that second hat that you wear for all of us, what are you hearing anecdotally on the ground about turnout?
I'm hearing on the ground that a lot of people warmed up late. National Action Network had a Get Out the Vote tour, not telling people who to vote for. I went to about 10 cities, ending in Winston-Salem yesterday, and there was a growing sense of urgency. A lot of it provoked by the ugliness of the campaign. When you've got people being called garbage and people being, in many ways, disrespectful. Yesterday, somebody said to me, Reverend Al, did you hear when I just got back to New York, did you hear he almost called her the B word? I think that in many ways, where people seemed indifferent as late as 2 or 3 weeks ago, people are starting to say, wait a minute, there's a certain level and a certain character that I want with the White House or whoever's the occupant of the White House. And then you have those that have real concerns. Women's right to choose is more than just abortion. It's health. It's preserving people's lives. Then the right to vote. Then you deal with the question of affirmative action. How do we ever equalize society? So I've heard people that have been substantive, and I've heard people that have been triggered by the last couple of days of ugliness saying, no, I might agree on some things, but I don't think we can afford to be this nasty and ugly and have that sitting in the Oval Office.
I mean, Alicia, it raises a great question.